You are sitting on the edge of your bed. It is past 11, and you are finally doing the math. You have been avoiding for 3 years. Not because you are lazy, not because you don't care, because some part of you already knows what the number is going to say, and you were not ready to hear it. You open every account, one by one, checking, savings, the 401k you contribute to without ever actually looking at what is inside it. You add it all up, $11,200. That is everything. 18 years of working, and that is everything. You put the phone face down on the bed. You sit there for a long time. Level 1. Age 22 to 28. The spending years. You were not reckless. That is the part that is hardest to explain. You were not gambling. You were not buying things that didn't make sense. You were not irresponsible in any way that would make a clean story out of it. You were just living. The way everyone around you was living. At 22, you got your first real job, $38,000 a year. You got an apartment, a used car, a phone plan, a gym membership you actually used more than people give you credit for. The money went somewhere every month. All of it. But it went to real things. Rent, food, the car payment, the nights out that felt like the whole point of being 20-something. Nobody sat you down and said, the way you are living right now is going to cost you something specific 10 years from now. They just let you live. And you did. Here is what nobody tells you about your 20s. The damage is never dramatic. It is just quiet. Month after month after month. Normal spending. Normal living. A normal life that is quietly building nothing. Level 2. Age 29 to 32. The first alarm. Your coworker James buys a house at 29. Not a big house, a normal house in a normal neighborhood. But he walks into work one Monday with a set of keys and something settled in his face that you had not seen before. You ask him about it that night. He talks about equity, appreciation, locking in a mortgage before rent goes any higher. You nod like you understand. That night, you open your savings account. $412. You tell yourself you will start being more intentional. You mean it, genuinely. You sit there and mean every word of it. Then the car needs work. $800. The $400 becomes $0. The rest goes on a credit card. You spend the next 4 months paying it off. By the time it clears, you have saved nothing, because everything extra went to the card. Next month, you tell yourself. Next month becomes the whole year. The year becomes 3 more years. Exactly like it. Here is what nobody tells you about next month. It does not exist. There is only this month, and what you do with it. Level 3. Age 33 to 36. Life hits back. The job ends at 33. Not a firing, a restructuring, your whole department, 6 weeks severance, $3,700 after tax. You have no emergency fund, a credit card balance you have been carrying since 26, and now, no income. You find another job. It takes 4 months. Those 4 months cost you everything you had managed to save. You start over. At 33, you start over from 0. You tell yourself this time will be different. And it is. For a while, you cut things, real things, subscriptions you forgot you had, meals you used to buy without thinking. You meal prep on Sundays for about 11 weeks. Then life gets busy. Then you are tired. And tired people make tired decisions. A medical bill arrives at 34. Not catastrophic. Not the kind that makes the news. A procedure. Insurance covers part of it. The part insurance does not cover is $2,800. And you don't have that amount also. Payment plan. 23 months. Another fixed cost added to the pile. You get a raise at 35, $4,000 a year before tax, $240 extra a month after everything the government takes. You increase your 401k from 3% to 4%. You tell yourself that is progress. It is progress. But it is the kind of progress that feels like running to stay in the same place. Here is what nobody tells you about bad timing. It is not bad luck. It is the cost of having no buffer. Every person without a safety net is one normal bad month away from starting over. You have started over twice now. And the second time hurts more than the first, because you are older now. Level 4. Age 37 to 39. The reckoning. You sit down with a proper spreadsheet at 37. Not a note on your phone, not a rough number in your head, an actual spreadsheet. Every account, every debt, the whole picture, laid out flat, where you cannot look away from any of it. Credit card balance, $4,200. 401k, $19,000. Savings account, $611. Student loan, $8,400. You sit with that for a long time, not panicking, something quieter than panic, the specific feeling of standing at the bottom of something very tall and understanding for the first time exactly how tall it is. The numbers are not disaster numbers, but they are 40-year-old numbers on a 37-year-old man. And if nothing changes, they will be 50-year-old numbers at 50. You close the laptop. You do not fix anything that night. But something shifts. The way things shift when you finally look directly at something you have been looking past for years. Here is what nobody tells you about the reckoning. It does not feel like motivation. It does not feel like fire. It feels like grief. Like mourning the version of yourself who started earlier. Who did the thing at 22 that you are only now understanding at 37? You grieve that version for a while, then you get up. Level 5. Age 40. The decision. It is a Tuesday night. You are on the edge of the bed. $11,200. 18 years. You pick the phone back up. You open the 401k app. You change your contribution from 4% to 9%. Your take-home drops by $180 a month. You feel that number. You think about what $180 means to your life right now. Then you think about what it means to your life at 60, if you don't. You confirm the change. You open a high-yield savings account you have been meaning to open for 2 years. You transfer $300. You set up an automatic transfer. Same amount. Every payday. Before you can see it and want it for something else. You pay $200 extra toward the credit card. Gone in 9 months at this rate. You close the apps. The number is still $11,200. Nothing has changed yet, nothing has compounded, nothing has grown. But the direction is different. And direction. Is the whole thing at 40? Here is what nobody tells you about starting late. The start does not feel like a start. It feels like damage control. It feels small. It feels like everyone else is already so far ahead that this cannot possibly matter. That feeling is wrong, but it is real. And the only way through it is to do it anyway. Level 6. Age 40 to 50. The rebuild. You are 44. The credit card is gone. Has been for almost 3 years. The student loan is gone. The 401k has $61,000. The savings account has $8,400. 3 months of expenses, sitting there, untouched, existing specifically for the bad thing that has not happened yet. You have not been perfect. There were months where the transfer did not go through because the account was too tight. A year where you dropped the 401k contribution back to 6% because the rent went up and something had to give. But you kept going. Not perfectly. Just consistently enough. The market dropped badly one spring. 61,000 became 48 in about 8 weeks. You checked it every day for 2 weeks. Then, once a week, then you stopped checking and bought a little more. Because you remembered that the time to add to something is when everyone else is walking away from it. The market came back. It always comes back if you give it time. You are giving it time now. You are 48. The portfolio is at $142,000. You say that number quietly, even to yourself, because you remember the 11,000. You remember the Tuesday night. You remember 33 years old starting over and wondering what the point was. The point. was always this. Level 7. Age 50. The truth. You are 50 years old. You are not retired. You still go to work. The job is fine. Some days more than fine. Most days it is just the thing you do between the parts of your life that are yours now. The portfolio is at $187,000. Not a million, not freedom in the way the videos make it sound. But something real. Something that means a bad month is a bad month. And not a catastrophe. Something that means you sleep differently than you slept at 39. Something that means when something goes wrong, which it still does, which it always will, it is just a problem, not a verdict on your entire life. You think about the Tuesday night. The edge of the bed, the phone face down. $11,000 and 18 years of work, and the silence of a number that did not match the life you thought you had been building. You would go back and tell that person one thing, not which account to open, not which fund to buy, just this. The math is not over. 40 is not too late. It is just later than you wanted. And later is still not never. Start tonight, with whatever number you have, however small it feels, however late it seems. Stay in it long enough to find out what it becomes.